Guys, it's Angelo getting back on Campionato here. I'm going to be continuing my series that I started last week with regards to the teams that Italy is or may potentially play. Last week I did a breakdown of the Northern Ireland squad that Italy will be playing in the World Cup playoff in Bergamo come March. And I'm continuing on by talking about the other two teams on the other side of the bracket. If Italy wins against Northern Ireland, they will have to play Bosnia at Bosnia or Wales in Wales. So, without further ado, I'm going to be talking about Bosnia, and I did my research on this team, and I'm going to be bringing it to you guys. But before I continue, I just want to say to all my subscribers and followers that I really appreciate you guys, following me, subscribing to me, and trusting me with your football content. Be sure to share my content to friends, and let's grow this community, and support our football, so Italian football. So make sure you subscribe, you like this video, share it, follow us on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, whatever you have. So without further ado, I am going to get into this Bosnia team here. So looking at this Bosnia team, they were in a group for the World Cup qualifier. They had Romania, Cyprus, San Marino, and Austria in their group. And I guess Bosnia, they came in second place in their group, and Austria came in first, and I believe Romania came in third. And some of the results they had were Romania, they beat Romania away 1-0. They beat Cyprus at home 2-1. They beat San Marino at home 2-1. No, San Marino at home 1-0. They also beat San Marino again 6-0 away. But I look at that game, and San Marino, they got a red card early in the game, and I think that's what happened with that situation. They lost at home to Austria 2-1. They tied Cyprus away. They won against Romania 3-1, but again, I think that was another situation where Romania got a red card and they had to play the game down a man. Looking at the results where Bosnia beat Romania in the first game, it looked like the statistics, Romania, they had a lot more possession, shots, etc., etc. So they beat Romania 3-1 home, and then their last game they tied Austria. They were beating Austria away, and I'm not entirely sure if they had won that game. Yeah, if they had won that game, well, let me think about it. So I think Austria, they finished with 19 points, and Bosnia 17 points. So they just had a 2-point difference. So if Bosnia had won that game, they would have qualified for the World Cup, and Austria would have been in second place. But Austria, they tied the game later on in the game, and Austria goes to the World Cup. They also played a couple friendlies as of late against Slovenia. They lost that away 2-1, and they won against Malta 4-1. And the formation that this team is typically playing is with 4 at the back, either a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. So they play with 4 guys in the back over there. If we have to play Bosnia, we would have to go play in Bosnia, and this team plays all their games in this stadium called Bilino Palgi Stadium. It's about a 15,000 seat stadium, and looking at the capacities of all the games that they played there, they've had anywhere from 7 to 11,000 fans. So, long story short, those are results. That's the formation this team is typically playing, at least for the World Cup qualifiers, and that's the stadium that they play their home games in, which I presume Italy would have to go to that stadium if they beat Northern Ireland. And honestly, to tell you the truth, if Italy has to go to Bosnia to play this team, I'm not, really overly concerned. It's really not a far flight from Italy to Bosnia. They would just have to go east to Bosnia over there. And it's a 15,000 seat stadium. Even if the stadium is sold out, there's 15,000 fans. I mean, all these players on the Italian national team, they've played in the biggest, they've played in the biggest and the most hostile. I mean, these guys, they play in the San Siro, they play in the Stadio Olimpico, they play in the Diego Maradona. These are all like 60 plus thousand stadiums, So, those are some of the most hostile environments in world football. So I'm not concerned. I don't know that they would sell out that stadium. I mean, when they played the World Cup games, the most they had there for the Romania and the Austria game was like 11,000. So, and I have to presume that there would be some Italian fans there. So I'm not overly concerned about it being a hectic environment if they went there. I would look at it as a business trip and get the job done and go home, pretty much. So this Bosnian team is about 71st. They're 71st in the FIFA ranking. They have about a squad value of 94 million. Their coach, Sergis Barbarez, from what I found, the information I did on researching him, he, as a player, played a lot of soccer in Germany. I think primarily his career was in Germany in the Bundesliga. So he's got, good experience as a player. But from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, I'm just going by what I've found, that he's relatively new coach at the elite, professional level. I think this is like his first job, like coaching a professional, national team. I haven't even seen that he coached, like club teams that are professional club teams. Now, I'm not saying maybe he coached some other teams that are not professional teams, but it doesn't look like this guy Sergis has that much experience as a high level coach. And I'm not saying Gennaro Gattuso is, the best coach in the history of, that we could produce. But I mean, he has been the coach at AC Milan. He's been the coach at Napoli. And Gattuso, his resume for, for other coaching positions are, I believe are outside of Italy. In his playing career, he's won Champions League, he's won the World Cup, he's won everything there is to win as a player. So, that's some information about this Bosnian team. I looked back at recent results that Italy played in the past 5-6 years, and Italy has played them 5 times. They won 4 times and drew 1 time. The most recent was a friendly where Italy won 1-0. So, anyways, that's some information on this team. Looking at these players that Bosnia has, they have, as you guys may know, they have some players that play in the Serie A. Džeko, he's, I think he's over 40 now, but he plays for, Fiorentina, who's in last place. And there's this guy, I always see him, he's playing for Atalanta, Kolasinic, he plays for Atalanta. And then there's Tariq Muharamovic, he plays for Sassuolo. And then there's this other player, plays for Sampdoria, Hadzikadazinic. There's a player that plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach back in Bundesliga 2. There's about 3 players in the EFL Championship. That's the second level of English football. They have 1 player. They have a player in the Eredivisie. They have a player in the Portuguese league. They have 3 players in the Austrian league, the Swiss league. They got 2, Croatian league. They have 2. The Super League, the Turkish Super League 2, Danish Super League 1, Cyprus League 1, and the Czech Republic one league, one player. Segunda division in Spain, the second division, one player. In Kazakhstan, one player. So, um, in the top five leagues, in Europe, this Bosnian team has four players, three of which are in Serie A, and I would argue that one of the players in Serie A is, he's kind of, I mean, Eden Džeko. I mean, he was, a good player back in his younger days. He played in England, and then he played for Roma, and he played for Inter and stuff like that. But I mean, the guy is kind of, older. So they have four players in the top leagues, and and then second tier leagues like the Serie B and the English league, second league. They have six players, and then all the other players are made up of all those other leagues I told you. So, um, and the Italian national team is made up. I mean, besides, but like I'm kind of upset Ategi left, but besides Ategi, I mean the whole team plays in top five leagues. They either play in Serie A or the Premier League. Yeah. Rategi plays in Saudi Arabia, but I mean, he should be playing in, he's not playing in Saudi Arabia because he's not good enough. He's playing there because they're paying him tens of millions of dollars. But he was, I believe, if I remember, he was the top Serie A scorer last year. So he's really a top five league. And I would say that, all the players in the Italian national team they play in the top two leagues in the world, the Premier League and the Serie A. Um, and but looking at this, if I had to compare these teams here, if I had to go head coach to head coach, like I told you, Gattuso, he's been coaching. And then there's this Barbarez, he was a good player, a Bosnian player. He played in Germany. But I mean, being a player and being a coach is two different things. I mean, how many players went to go be a coach and they didn't have success? I can name a lot of them. Um, so regarding the league environment these players play in, the iron sharpen iron, which I talk about a lot. Italy has the advantage. Um, all the players on the Italian national team, they play in elite leagues, and they're exposed to top tactical football on a weekly basis. The goalkeepers, I mean, Donnarumma's the best goalkeeper in the world. There's no comparison there. Center backs, I don't know the Bosnian center backs, but from the research I did, I guess the Bosnian center backs, they're bigger, more physical, um, maybe not so tactical, and so I give. Like if we have Calafiori and Bastoni as our center backs, I mean, I'm not, like they're very technical, tactical players, but I wouldn't say they're the most physically imposing or like, that type of player. You know what I mean? Like when I look at like somebody like Francesco Acerbi, I mean, to me, the guy is a warrior. He's a warrior. And if I'm a striker, I don't want, like I definitely don't want to play against him. I'm not saying I would want to play against Bastoni or Calafiori or Buongiorno, but I think you get what I'm saying, that the center backs that Italy has, like these players like Scalvini, Bastoni, Calafiori, um, you know, I would say they're more of like a technical, tactical player, um, more so than physical. So I would say that Italy has the edge for center backs as the complete package. But Bosnia, they may have center backs that are more of a physical, which I ain't really concerned about, because if Moise Kean plays, he don't care. He's playing hard, and he don't care how big you are. And I don't think Retegui cares either. And then we have Esposito, who's our up and coming talent, and he's a very strong, technically, tactically, and physically. So doesn't really. So the center backs, I would still give the edge to Italy, but I would say that Bosnia, I think they may have a more of a physical presence. Fullbacks and wingbacks, edge to Italy. You know, we have DeMarco, Cambiaso, um, Palatano, these type of players. Now we have this other guy for Cagliari, Palestra. Um, we have a lot of players that are playing in this type of positions. We have the guy in the English Premier League, Udoji and Coyote. So, I mean, I think we have a lot of options for wingbacks, fullbacks. So the edge, Italy, midfield. I would also give the gap the Italians, more of a an advantage on that with Tonali and Barella and these guys. They have positional intelligence. They can control the tempo of a game, but doesn't mean that the Bosnians are not going to work hard on attack. I would say that Italy, has an advantage. I mean, looking at all these games that Bosnia's playing, they're still putting Džeko up there. I mean, if you're relying on a 40-year-old striker, I mean, that tells me you don't have anybody, else. In Italy, I think they have many different options. Like I told you earlier, we have many different attacking options with Moise Kean, Matteo Retegui, Francesco Esposito, Raspadori, who I heard maybe come back to Roma, not come back to Roma, come back to Serie A for Roma. So I would give the edge to Italy. However, I would say that Džeko, he still could cause you problems, especially like on set pieces if the defense isn't paying attention. So yeah. The tactically identity, like again, I would say the Italian team has a stronger, game control, match management. I think the Bosnian team is more, they're going to play more of a defensive game and try to counterattack and get set pieces and stuff like that. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to prioritize defense, let the other team have more possession. I mean, you saw it when they played the stronger teams in the World Cup qualifying, like Romania and Austria. They let those guys have the possession, or maybe they couldn't get the possession. Physically in duels, um, you know, from the research I did, I guess the Bosnian team is, they work very hard. I mean, they may have a little bit more, physicality. And, I would not expect anything less than those guys are going to work hard. I mean, a lot of the, Bosnian people I know, they're very hardworking, and I'm sure they want to go to the World Cup too. So, mentality and experience. I mean, I mean, no offense, but this goes without say that the Italian team has a stronger experience as of late. The mentality, especially against Norway, hasn't been great. Um, so I would say they have more experience and they have to work on the mentality thing. But overall, if I would have to pick one, mentality and experience, I would take the Italian team. I mean, these guys, like I said, they play in the top leagues in the world and in the biggest stadiums, in the most intense stadiums. They play in Europe. They play in Champions League finals and Europa League finals, Conference League finals. So, yeah. Um, so with that said, I mean that is the pretty much the analysis that I have for this Bosnian team. So make sure you send this to Gennaro Cattuso and the whole Italian national team. I'll definitely tag them. Um, but yeah, that's what I expect. I expect that the Bosnian team, they play with the four backs, and they're going to be a team not as physical and athletic, maybe as the Northern Ireland team, but they're going to be, a hungry team. They're going to work hard. They're going to try to contest every ball. They're going to try to be, physical, be physical with the Italian team, and they're going to sit back, stay compact, and try to get some opportunities to score a goal. Maybe they're going to go down there, and somebody's going to trip one of their guys, and they're going to do an indirect kick, and they're going to look for Džeko to try to get a header or a corner kick or something, or a free kick or something like that. That's what they're going to do. I'm not concerned about going to play in Bosnia. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I hope Bosnia beats Wales, because I'd rather play Bosnia than Wales, because Wales, from I will have to do some research, but I think they play in that stadium where the Champions League final was, Juventus versus Real Madrid, and that's a pretty big stadium. And having to go there and get a result is just going to add more complexity to the game. Yeah, that's my analysis. I think Italy, would hold the possession and the territory and the tempo, and Bosnia, would spend, long stretches in low block. They don't care. They would have some counterattacks. I think the Italian midfield would control the game. And I think, based on what I said, the Italian national team would have a good percentage of winning. I mean, running some simulations, I've seen, 2-0, 2-1 Italy, but again, this is not meant to poo-poo, any teams that Italy has to play. I will always say this as a football fan of 36 years and a football fan of Italian football, watching the likes of Fabio Capello, all these legends of Italy, and they always said the same thing. They never had disrespect for any team, not that I have ever found. They've always said, paura di nessuno, rispetto per tutti. And that pretty much means we do not fear anybody, but we respect everybody. And I respect every team Italy plays. And I don't care if it's the last place FIFA ranked team. If there's 11 guys on one side of the field, 11 on the other side, anything could happen. But I'm just giving you guys the facts of these teams based on my research, and giving you guys information so that before these games happen, if they happen, with Bosnia, you guys could look at this and you could get a good idea of what we're up against. Hopefully, this is some helpful information for you guys. It's for me. Doing what I'm doing, I need to know this stuff, to do my proper analysis. And that's it. I've done Northern Ireland, I've done Bosnia now, and I will finish off with Wales. And like I said earlier, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys like my videos and share them. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, whatever, Spotify. All my links are in my YouTube channel, so you could go right to them for whatever platform you have. I'm doing this because I love Italian football. I love football. This is my passion in my life since I was young, and I'm trying to do my part for Italian football and to provide the information to the people in North America and around the world that don't live in Italy. I understand that, you may have Italian programming, but maybe you don't understand Italian. So in English, it's a universal language, and I do this because it's a passion of mine and I want to share with you guys. So help support me, help support our community, and follow. Again, I do this on my own time. I don't make any money doing this. I do this because I love to do this and to talk about football. And hopefully you guys like my content. And I sincerely hope you guys have a great Christmas and holiday season. And That's all I got. All right, ciao.